Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's New York Comic Con 2015. We're here on day one, and let me tell you, we're in for a treat. I got to be honest with you, I've been doing a lot of interviews for a lot of years, and there's not one that I've been more nervous for because I am a big fan myself. And ladies and gentlemen, Kishimoto Sensei joining us. Also with us, Mari, who is going to be translating, Mr. Otsuki, who is Kishimoto Sensei's editor in Japan, and also Urian Brown. Thank you all for joining us. And Urian, before we kind of get started, if you want to introduce yourself.
All right, my name is Urian Brown. I work at shonenjump.com, and I am freaking out! I'm on the same stage as Masashi Kishimoto! Can you pinch me to see if I'm not trapped in a genjutsu?
現実にハマってると思ってますので、ちょっとひねってくださいって。
Okay, this is
Oh.
real. All right, this is real.
The pinch happened. And ladies and gentlemen, I mean, I feel like this man needs no introduction. So what I would love to do is if you are a fan of Naruto as much as I am, if you would actually just stand and give this individual a round of applause for the amazing things that he has brought to us creatively. As you guys probably know, Naruto is the best-selling U.S. manga of all time, and of course, the celebration of the conclusion is Volume 72 is recently released, and we have Kishimoto Sensei who's going to be answering a few questions that we put together. So first off, thank you everyone, and Kishimoto Sensei, this is your first con outside of Japan, so everyone wants to know, what do you think so far? Do you like New York? And do you like New York Comic Con?
今回が初めての海外でのイベントと聞いておりますけど、これまでのご感想、イベントに関してもニューヨークに関してもいかがですか？
ニューヨークは来て初日にヤンキース対アストロズを見て、ヤンキース負けたので、それちょっと辛かったっていう印象と、あとそうですね、まだ来て3日目なんでそんなに感想が言えないです。
I have to say that on the first day after I arrived from Japan, or on the day that I arrived from Japan, in fact, I got to go to the Yankees game when they played against the Astros, but they lost, so I'm sad. And this is only my third day, so I don't know if I really have a strong opinion yet on New York. And this is actually the first time I'm seeing my fans at Comic-Con, so I'm really excited.
Well, I have a question about the fans then. Yes. The question is like obviously just seeing, I see several characters out here that are certainly recognizable. What has been the most surprising thing about the fans here in the United States for you?
皆さんその観客の中でもコスプレイヤーが何名かいますけど、アメリカのファンと触れ合って一番驚いたこととか何でしょうか？
昨日のアップルのあれで、触れ合った時はすごいコアな方が多いなっていう、すごく読み込んでるな、読まれてるなっていうふうに思いましたね。あとテンションが高いというか熱い人が多いっていう。
So I have to say, I did have one Comic-Con related event yesterday at the Apple Store in Soho, and it really, I was amazed to see how hardcore some of the fans were, how much really small details they still were aware about, and how very passionate they were about my work.
And Urian, like the U.S. Naruto fan base pretty well. You're able to go to these conventions quite frequently. And what did you think Kishimoto Sensei's reception was going to be to the U.S. fan base? Because I see how crazy and hardcore it is all the time. Is that kind of what you expected?
I think, yes, I definitely knew people would be extremely excited, and it is one of the most successful manga creators of all time coming to America. Like, when Naruto first came out 15 years ago in America in Weekly Shonen Jump issue number 2, it was an immediate hit. And then soon after, the Cartoon Network started running the anime, and then it completely blew up. And it's one of those few Japanese titles that managed to penetrate mainstream consciousness, meaning non-anime fans fell in love with it and started liking anime. And that's a very, very difficult thing to do, to create a story that's so compelling. People from all over the world, from numerous cultures, can identify with it and fall in love with it. And so that's, I knew fans here would be stoked.
So, with that being said, Kishimoto Sensei, the popularity of Naruto is, it's global. It's not just here in the United States and Japan. It's all over. What is it like to have fans and have that global penetration with, as you mentioned, story and art that it relates regardless of what culture you live in, of what country you might live in, etc.?
それナルトはまさにアメリカ、日本だけでなくもう国際規模で大人気の作品となりましたが、この先生が手がけたストーリー、キャラクターたち、そして素晴らしい背景を大好きなファンが世界中にいるというのはどういうご感想ですか？どういう気持ちですか？
まず嬉しいっていうのと、まだ信じてません。それは嬉しいんですけど、本当なのって本当っていう。
I want to let you know I am very, very happy to hear how many people love my work and from so many places, but I still can't really believe it. I mean, it hasn't quite sunk in yet.
Well, I'm sure as you are, here throughout New York Comic Con, you're gonna get a healthy dose of, love from the fans, and hopefully that'll help it sink in a little bit. Do you have any idea, Kishimoto Sensei, why you think Naruto resonates with such a massive audience across the globe?
だけどなぜこんなに多数な異なる文化のファンの共感を呼ぶのと思われますか？
そうですね。結局どこの国に住んでてもうまくいかないことが誰でもあると思うんですけど、ナルトがその例というか本当にうまくいかない主人公なんで、そこにみんな共感してくれたのかなっていうふうに思ってます。
Well, I think it's a lot of it has to do with the fact that in the end, no matter where you live or who you are, you run into obstacles sometime in your life. In fact, sometimes many times in your life, and that's one of the main themes of Naruto as well. He encounters these obstacles and he finds out some way to overcome them. And I think that's why fans, no matter what race, what country, what nationality, what ethnicity, can relate to that because it's a global theme.
Sure.
I have a theory too. The main character is a kid who sucks at school and always gets in trouble. I think people can relate to that.
Yeah, I bet.
I know I did.
Quite a few. Well, then let's continue on because one of the big themes of the Naruto celebrations has been to talk to fans about what their favorite moments were, whether it be in Naruto or in Shippuden. So I'm dying to know, and I'm sure several other folks out here would you share with us your favorite moment from the entirety of the series?
このナルトを祀ってる間に一応ファンからの反応として皆さんのお好きな場面とかを教えてもらってるんですけど、じゃあ先生自身個人的にはどの場面が一番好きでしたか？
どの場面？
はい。
場面ね、やっぱり最後のサスケとナルトのところが好きです。倒れてて。るところですね。
I have to say that it's really hard, but if I had to name one scene that was my particular favorite, it was towards the end, in chapter 698, where Naruto and Sasuke are at the end of their battle. They've both fallen down, and they're both lying on their backs on the ground together.
Mr. Otsuki, do you have a favorite moment to share with us?
お好きな場面。
僕もその最後のナルトとサスケが、倒れているところっていうのはとても好きだったんですけれど、ガイが、八門遁甲を開いたシーンが、それ以外だと好きです。
Well, I originally would have said the same as Sensei and say it's that scene where Naruto and Sasuke have both collapsed. But since he already stole my idea, and he is Sensei, so I have to allow him to do that. If I had to mention another one, it'd be the scene when Might Guy, unleashes the 8th gate.
Some fans of that moment as well. Yeah.
こ
The-
他にもファンがいるみたいです
The part where Sasuke and Naruto have their final battle that makes it particularly interesting to me is both their arms are cut off. There's a bunch of blood. And so now their blood kind of makes like a heart almost. And now they're like, they fought so hard, they punched their arms off. So that's fighting for real.
That's fighting for real. Now, I love bad guys. I absolutely love bad guys. And I feel like you have given me some of my favorite bad guys over a long period of time. So, who is your favorite bad guy in the Naruto universe?
まあ自分自身ももう悪役が大好きなんですけど、
はい、
特にナルトの悪役がその中でも特に好きなキャラクターが多いので、僕が知りたいのは先生が一番お好きなお気に入りなナルトの悪役は誰でしょうか。
ヒダンが好きです。
ヒダン。
Nice.
So, what do you feel is the secret to creating a successful bad guy?
じゃあその出来のいいって言ったらおかしいかもしれませんけど、そういういいかっこいい悪役キャラクターを作る秘訣とかなんですか。
なんかなんでそういう悪いことをするのかっていうところをそういう風になっちゃったのかっていうところを考えてから書くと結構味があるキャラクターができるっていう。
I think the most important thing is to always come up with a really good backstory. So, why is this person doing what they're doing? And how did they get to that stage of doing these evil things?
Great. So, is there one character that you have truly enjoyed writing or drawing over the run of Naruto and Shippuden? Is there one, that really kind of every time you got to express with this character or create art around the character that it truly spoke to you?
まあ、ではその、15年間その描くのが楽しかったキャラクター、そのキャラクターを含めたストーリー描くのが楽しかったというキャラクターってあるでしょうか。
楽しかったのは、ナルトがお色気の術をしたナルトが楽しかったのと、あと楽しかったシーンは、美獣を描いている時です。
So I have to say that I always had fun drawing Naruto during the harem jutsu. You know,
Sexy no jutsu.
the art of the sexy or sexy jutsu. And the other thing that I had a lot of fun, or other beings I had a lot of fun drawing, were the Bijou, the tailed beasts.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely. So one other thing that is that has come out of the Naruto universe, of course, is the long series of video games that have really brought Shippuden and Naruto to life. How is it seeing your creations, come to life as also a video game?
まあもちろんそのナルトはゲーム化されたこともあるんですけど、北米で一番人気のナルトがそのシップーデンとかありますけど、もうご自身が創作した作品がゲーム化されるのを見てどんな気持ちでしょうか。
なんかゲームの出来が良すぎるんで、嫉妬しちゃいました。
I have to say that when I actually saw the final product, I was so impressed by the quality of the game that I actually was a little jealous.
Well, do you actually have much involvement in those games? Would you like to one day maybe work on a video game like that?
じゃあ今までも販売されているゲームで先生は直接関わったゲームとかありますでしょうか。
一応ちょっとずつキャラデザインとかしますから、だいたい関わってるのはあります。最近のはい。
Technically, yes, I've been involved in the games, but mostly in the sense that I offered or tendered character designs for them.
Okay, great. So I have a couple more questions. We have a few more minutes. Do you have a favorite jutsu?
先生一番お好きな忍術はありますでしょうか。
一番好きな忍術。
You mean for him to perform, or?
Well, no, just a favorite.
You do jutsu
Yeah.
for real?
いや先生がもしくは忍術をできるとしたらと言ったら聞いたら親が先生できるんですか忍術をって。No.
それ一番好きなのは やりたいのは影分身の術をやりたいです。そうすると原稿が早く終わるので。
The one that I'd love to perform, if I could ever perform ninjutsu, would be the multiple shadow doppelgangers jutsu. The only reason why was because then it would be so quick to finish a script every week.
でも一番実際には一番嫌いな術です。書くのが大変なんで。
But in reality, I actually hate that jutsu because drawing it is a pain. Because you have to draw all the little characters.
もう大変。
It's a lot of work.
I have a quick question. You said your favorite villain was Hidan. Why Hidan?
なぜ被弾と先ほど言ったんですか？
普段なんでしょう、能力的にこう、結構こう、M なのかな。
死なないから。
死なないけど、まあ自分がちょっとなんでしょうね、その追い詰められると結構頑張っちゃうタイプっていうところが似てるのかな、わかんないですけど。
So I have to say, in part, I think it's his many abilities and the fact that he's very strong, but also perhaps that he doesn't die. And I feel that something that I wish I could learn from her, that I feel that I might be a lot alike with Hidan, is that when he gets cornered, he fights back.
I have a follow-up question. Speaking of never dying, can Orochimaru ever really be killed?
まあ不老不死といえば、じゃあオロチマルのキャラクターってもう永遠に続いていくキャラクターであるんでしょうか？
そうですね、そういうイメージで作りました。
Well, that is kind of what I had in mind when I created him. Is that yeah, he'll still be around when the rest of the world is gone.
So it's going to be him.
体を、そうそう変えていくっていう。
Especially because well, actually maybe that won't work because he does need a new body to switch into.
Right.
But he'll outlast most of us.
Orochimaru's my number one villain. I love him. He's
僕が一番好きな悪役です。
the best.
ちょっと変わってるのかな。
Although he's kind of weird.
I know,
Is it the
but
tongue? Like, what is it?
it's
What about
such a
him?
great. I don't know. He's so menacing. He is. You love to hate him.
Yeah.
That's why I think there's
ま
a
あ
good.
嫌いやすいので余計好きです。
Yeah. One of the other exciting things during this year's New York Comic Con during the Naruto celebration is that there's been a lot of cosplay, a lot of amazing cosplay that I've seen. We actually tomorrow or later on this weekend have a Naruto only sort of cosplay. But I wanted to ask Kishimoto Sensei and anyone else on the panel, what is the best cosplay that you've ever seen that came from the Naruto universe?
まあなんか今回もコミコンで明日ですけど、もうナルトのコスプレイヤーだけの集まりが行われるらしいんですけど、今までまあ先生だけなく大月さんでもいいし、Uriah you too、一番うまくできこなしたコスプレ、まあどのキャラクターとかでしたか？日本ででもまあもちろん日本で。自分が目撃した。
目撃した？なんだろう、それはあんまり見ないですけどね。あんまり見ないですけど、まあナルトかな？ナルトです。
ナルトが多いですよね。ナルトが多い。
ナルトなんか、ナルトでした。
Well, I mean, I actually haven't had a chance to see or meet many cosplayers, unfortunately. But there are definitely a lot of Narutos out there, and there are a lot of good Narutos out there.
Yeah, there are quite a few. We only have time for a few more questions. I do want to ask Mr. Otsuki, can you explain a little bit what your role as editor is to Kishimoto Sensei?
じゃあ担当編集者としてのお仕事、まあ役割に関してちょっと述べてもらえますか？ナルトに関して。
まず打ち合わせをしてその週の、少年ジャンプに掲載される内容っていうのを、2人で話し合ってで、その大体こういう内容にしようっていうのを、決めます。でその決めた後に、先生がその打ち合わせをもとにして、ネームっていうのを書くのでそのネームをまた見せてもらって、そこでもまた打ち合わせをします。でそこでは細かいセリフの変更であったり、やっぱりああしようであったりこうしようであったり、そこで基本的に皆さんが 目にされるナルトの内容に関してはほぼ決まりです。で、まあそのいった打ち合わせと、まあ、その後先生に原稿を書いていただくんですけど、その原稿をが上がったら、いただいて、そのまあ、印刷所に持ってって
長い長い
みたいな感じです。はい。
長すぎて
So actually, it starts off where I have a meeting, and it's a weekly series, so this is the same thing happens every week. But I first hold a meeting with Kishimoto Sensei where we talk about what we're going to do for that week, what the story is, what the general flow is. And then based on that, I have Sensei draw a draft, a very, very rough draft, and then have him show it to me, and we have another meeting where we start nailing down the final details, especially in terms of the actual panel layout and dialogue, any text, etc. So at that point, even though it still kind of looks like a sketch, it looks almost close to what the readers will actually see in the end. And then from that, he will do the actual draft inking, and once he's done, I go and pick up that chapter from him, the pages, and bring it to the printer.
Thank you for the explanation.
ありがとうございます。
All right, one final question because we're in New York and I know that you love ninjas. Do you happen to be a fan of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? And if so, which is your favorite?
まあ本当先生にはくだらない質問で申し訳ないんですけど、ニューヨークですし、忍者も好きと分かってるので聞きたい質問です。先生は忍者タートルズはお好きですか？
好きですね
Yes, I do like
ちっ
them.
ちゃい時に
Yes.
ゲームとかやってました
I used to play the video game, in fact.
So, we can still maybe get a Naruto Ninja Turtles crossover.
じゃあナルトと人亀のクロスオーバーのお話とかは可能でしょうか？
いやもうそんなん話来たらすぐ飛び乗っちゃいます
Well, if such an offer were to ever come my way, I think I'd jump on it.
There you go.
You heard it here.
You heard it here.
You
New
heard
York
it here.
Comic Con.
映画も見ましたし、はい、
Yeah.
I mean, I've watched the movies and I really enjoy the movies too. So
この間の、はい
Ladies and gentlemen, Naruto Volume 72 is available at your local bookstore, your comic shop, or of course, viz.com. Please, can we give one resounding thank you to Kishimoto Sensei and everyone here. It's an absolute honor to have you all up on this stage. Thank you so much. I hope the rest of your
Thank you.
Comic-Con goes great. And one last time, Kishimoto Sensei.
Thank you very much
We'll see you with more New York Comic Con live coverage right after this. Don't go away.